Currently, there are many curriculum theorists who advocate for a redesign of our education system. One in particular who has done a great deal for education in some of our major cities is Deborah Meier. Through her experience in the education field, it seems that Meier has come to a conclusion that many of our educators are supporting. Deborah Meier began her work in the education world as a kindergarten and Head Start teacher after she graduated with her MA in History from the University of Chicago. She mostly worked in New York City's East Harlem District 4 throughout the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. This is where she acquired her passion for working with inner city students. Meier founded 3 Central Park elementary schools within District 4 that served mainly African American and Hispanic students, along with a local coalition center. This initiated her position as co-director of the Coalition Campus Project, which successfully reformed 2 high schools and created multiple small coalition schools within Harlem. Other positions which she held were advisor to New York City's Annenberg Challenge, senior fellow at the Annenberg Institute at Brown University, and founder and principal at Mission Hill, which is a kindergarten through 8th grade school. Meier helped found many schools in areas that have been failing at education for decades. Her schools were successful because she believed in implementing the idea of democratic community, which entails the increase of democracy and equity within public education. She took several steps which were not common in our education system to accomplish this. First, teachers were given more independence since they were trained professionals and ultimately knew their students best. Meier valued the parents' opinions. She would ask for their input of what they would like to see happening in the schools. Project-based learning was also a major part of the curriculum at these schools. Meier would have her students produce a series of exhibitions of high-quality work to earn their graduation. Since Deborah Meier is a curriculum theorist of the 21st century, her thoughts on specific topics within education can be found on her website, deborahmeier.com. A major idea which she consistently advocates for is to do away with a standards-based system and calls for a redesign of our current education system. This, of course, calls for many changes. Community is a common theme among Meier's blog posts. Therefore, one issue which she specifically hopes for our education system to terminate in the future is that education currently is, end quote, virtually a form of boring incarceration in which, on the whole, neither teachers nor students have the kind of bonds with each other that makes them good learners. They're just living parallel to each other, and teaching hasn't changed a great deal. We have our agenda, they have theirs, and they really rarely touch. Deborah Meier has written several books. The first most prominent was The Power of Their Ideas. This book is a compilation of journal entries and essays Meier wrote when creating a successful alternative public school program in Harlem's District 4, an area with a predominantly African American and Latino student body that had the lowest test scores of any of the city's 32 districts. The school was called Central Park East Elementary, and with a small group of teachers, the school was able to create a strong, non-bureaucratic school culture that involved parents and adapted to children's needs. Her second most well-known work is called In Schools We Trust, which she published in 2002. In this publication, she addresses the need for responsibility and accountability in the schools. After reading a summary of this work, I really admire it because Meier kind of calls out the public education system in the lower socioeconomic areas and addresses how the school system is failing to meet the needs of the families and the students there, and that it is up to the school system's responsibility to respond to this. With her work and voice in the education world, Deborah Meier has made many accomplishments, such as receiving the MacArthur Genius Award and helped found the National Board of Teaching Standards. There is no doubt that Deborah Meier has changed the lives of many students who were born into unfavorable circumstances. She has dedicated the majority of her life to bettering the lives of these children, and now, even at 84, she is still playing a major role in advocating for a redesign of our education system.